Grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. God morning, God afternoon, and God evening to all. My name is Justin B., and I am a son of an all-powerful and all-loving God and a qualifying addict of multiple fellowships, living in the miracle of recovery, one day at a time. And I'm here with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my co-host, Nikki M. Nikki, please take a minute, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nikki M., and I'm grateful to be here. I'm actually in my deep fantasy addiction right now going, I wish I had a whole new podcast thing. Like my phone's not working this morning, my earphones. I've got on this Madonna headset that I don't know how I sound. But I guess the reality of it is this is the equipment that I have to use. It will all work out today. Only God is perfect. Nothing is missing. And I'm really grateful to be here with my brother, Justin, just in the solution. 2 or more people gathered together. Grateful.
And thank you, Nikki. Yeah, and I think my voice will be a little bit different today as we've had some illness in our house the last few days, and I've had that head and throat thing going on. So I think this meeting we may sound a little bit different than we normally do, and that's okay. Like you said, God is in charge. It'll all work out for today. All right. So I'm grateful to be the steward of the RICO 12 family of recovery resources. It's a beautiful thing that I believe God has put me in place to serve in. And we've got our RICO 12 weekly speaker meeting, Afro Euro speaker meeting. We've got Big Book Roundtable, and we've got the Noodle It Out with Nikki podcast, in which we bring questions of everyday life from people who we work with, people who send us emails at noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and just things from our own experiences to the Big Book. And Nikki helps us go through the Big Book, pull the solution out of the Big Book, and we take those and hopefully put them into action in our lives. Today, we received an email from Lauren, who really had a whole bunch of questions here, and we're going to go through them one at a time. So we're going to address several questions, but the subject line of her email was, "It's easy to let up on this spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels, but we're in trouble if we do," basically is what it is. And then she had a bunch of questions. So we're going to go through these questions. Here we go, Nikki. Let's start with the first one. First one is it ever okay to give yourself an easy time or a break in working the program? What does the book say, Nikki?
Well, hi, Lauren, and thanks for being part of the Noodle family and RICO 12 family, and just, being part of, because there is no me without we. So we need each other. So you were, I think, on page 85, where it says it's easy to let up on a spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. And what is rest on your laurels? It's called get complacent, right? We get complacent, we get compliant, we basically get lazy, we get satisfied laurels, we get satisfied with past success. All our ducks get it lined up. We lose the 10 pounds, the bank account is in the positive, and we're actually having dinner with the people we love. And what happens if we let up on it? It says we're headed for trouble if we do, because alcohol, addiction, alcoholism, the disease of self, is a subtle foe. See, my liar wants to kill me every day and says we're not cured of alcoholism. We're all the liar, this ego, this force on me that's always telling me I'm no good, life sucks, life's not fair. It's only in remission. It's a daily reprieve. I knew a guy in Cocaine Anonymous, Justin. He would say, "Well, I sleep at night. My ego's in the parking lot doing push-ups." So can you imagine? You're in bed, and this energy, this ego of yours, this negative force is outside, getting big muscles, like sometimes like what's the Incredible Hulk, right? And then you wake up, and that's on you. That's on you. And so, we only have a daily reprieve. So do we ever get where we can go easy? Well, you can just be still, because it says on the program, when we're agitated on page 87, it says we pause, right? So you may need to pause, but does that mean that you just get to zone out and eat Netflix or eat, what is it? Eat or Netflix and chill? I don't know, because I'm over 50. That's the kids' terms, Justin. Grandpa, and I'm waiting to be a grandma one day. Yeah, Netflix and chill. No, you don't get to do that. What have I been doing lately? I have been literally seeking God in all moments right now, because I've been in a certain trial and low spot that the book speaks about. So you do not get a day off. It says every day is a day when we must. Every day. I mean, Justin, what was the question? Well, one more time so we can make sure I'm answering that part, and then we'll go to the
Yeah.
next part.
Is it ever okay to give yourself an easy time or a break in working the program?
Simple answer, no. Simple answer, no. Why? It says destruction of self. Page 14 says, hey, everybody, page 14 of our big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, fourth edition, is designed to get you to a power, says simple but not easy. A price must be paid. The destruction of self. So if your ego is building every night in the parking lot, and you need to destruction of self, where does the day off come in, Justin? What would that look like? I mean, I know what it looks like. It looks like 1 day off for me, 2 days off, I'm not doing my inventory, 3 days, I can't differentiate the true from the false. I'm saying and doing things that are inappropriate. And I'm not talking about it back in my addiction. I'm still far from that. I'm thinking thoughts. No one loves me. He's a jerk. I want. That's maybe on day 2 or 3. 1 day I'm okay, maybe 2 or 3. And then what does it look like? Keep going in that direction. We all know what it looks like. It looks like a relapse, and you want to die if you're like me and Justin. It's awful. And not just sometimes kill ourselves. We're just laying in bed going, Calgon, take me away. Remember those commercials?
Yeah. We're old enough to remember those things. Yes. Good. Yeah, no, that's really powerful. Sometimes I feel like, man, I'm really burned out on this. I want to just take a day off, but it has never worked out for me when I say I'm going to take a day off, because like you said, it turns into 2, 3, 4. Next thing I know, I am spiraling and burning my life into the ground because, well, I got complacent.
But
And for
let me get in
people
here
like
real
me, yeah.
quick, because a day off for you and I might look like, I know you like nature, hiking. So you may have done something, you're like, I'm going to just take a big walk, right? So for me, like a day off the other day, I knew I could, it was too peoply out there for me. And I wasn't spiritually fit enough. And I know that because I'm armed with the facts about myself. So what did I do? I literally, Justin, I have a hot tub. I must have spent 2 hours in there. Then from there, I got into the sauna. I mean, this is God giving me all this. And I really, in deep meditation, knew why God gave me all this. So I can do these things because God knows our hearts. For Justin, he's not going to put a hot tub or a sauna in his house. Justin doesn't like that, but he might give him new hiking boots that are so great, or someone's told you about a new place that you can go with. You know what I mean, Justin? Like, God will give you this. If you're out there and you're going, well, I don't do any of that. You're like, well, maybe God has cleared a day where you can just go golf with God. Yeah. Maybe God has you laying in your bed, not watching Netflix, but maybe watching a Christian movie, or going deeper into, I'm learning about Kundalini, all these different avenues of ways to just be. Does that make sense? So you're not taking a day off. You're actually, here it is, step 11. you're improving conscious contact because we're always working a step 11 and 10 and 12, right? So that's that. You never get a day off. Simple answer.
Yeah, and I love that because there are days when it's like I've got nothing left to give. Well, I need to recharge then and connect not with me, because if I'm saying, hey, I got to find my true self or whatever and connect with me, I'm draining that. I got to connect with that power that provides the power to give me power to share. Lots of power in there. All right, let's go to the next question, Nikki. Next question is there a point when being hard on yourself will actually have negative effects? And I think that refers to the phrase that I'm just going to paraphrase and you'll go to. We have to be hard on ourselves, but easy on others, I think is kind of what that says. Where is that? And what is that phrase, Nikki?
Well, you are just so wonderful. It's on page, let me see where I want to make sure I'm on the right page. Oh, here it is. It's on page 74. And it says, the rule is, see, we don't have a lot of rules in this program, Justin. I mean, I'm in my bathrobe talking to you. It's not like I got to put on a suit or I got to dress in orange to be on a meeting in 12 step. I don't have to be straight or gay or black or white or green or yellow. I mean, we can do pretty much a lot of stuff, freedom, but there's a rule here. The rule is we must be hard on ourselves. Okay. So you got that right. Hard on ourselves. Now line out. Hard on yourself is not self-loathing. See, self-loathing is a character defect. It's a block. It's a liability. It's no good, self-loathing. But hard on myself, what does that look like? Okay, self-loathing. I'm no good. I'm a piece of shit. No one loves me. Hard on myself. I can do better. I'm a child of God and I don't speak like that. I've entered a spirit world. Spirit people don't judge, Nikki. See, that's hard on myself. Does that make a difference, Justin? See, like, because I'll go deep and, I got a foul mouth and I don't like to get too foul on Rico 12 because, God, this Justin's an earth angel, you guys. From what I know, he'll tell you a different thing. That's another story. But, I will go deep on these foul mouth, angry thoughts on me. I'm ugly. I've heard you say it. I mean, this is Justin. I've heard you say it. I'm a troll. Okay. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Man, you're a beautiful guy. So that language, even though we're laughing, imagine saying that when you really hate yourself. Like you're laying in bed, a deal's fallen through, you've messed up at work, your wife is mad at you, you said something to the son, something you've done, and then you're like, I'm a troll, I'm no good. Like, can you imagine where that takes us? Instead of going, I was wrong and I'm a child of God, I can do much, much better. Like, because we've been programmed with this stick thinking, but I want to get to that second part where it says, but we must always, it says, the rule is we must be hard on ourselves, but always considerate. That's the word, Justin, that you were looking for. Considerate of others. Now, I was talking on Noodle this morning and I heard someone, because I'm seeking God and we're energy, right? We're real energies. We've had Liza Love on here. She's a grateful member of this program and she always talks about our meat suit. But underneath that meat suit is this energy, this spirit that we have, this soul. And, when they gave this example like this, Justin, okay, so you and I are standing here and there's a breeze between us, okay? There's a little space between us, say 6 feet apart during COVID, 6 feet. There's a breeze, there's a wind going back and forth. But now we're standing and there's absolutely no breeze. Now, isn't there still air between us? There's still air between us, but there's just no breeze. So we can't feel it. We can't see it, but it's there. Now go deeper. There's an energy between us and it's called compassion. It's always there. It may not be moving. We may be having something, but it's always there. The consideration is always there in between us, even though it's not, active or moving, it's always there. So, again, the question, repeat it one more time, Justin, because I want to give the simple answer too.
So, is there a point where being hard on yourself will actually have negative effects?
Yes. Yes. There is a point. Yes. When you are hard on yourself, that it will be negative, because hard on yourself does not mean self-loathing. Now, is there a point when you're responsible accountable, an active member of this program that could have negative effects on you? No, no, it won't have negative effects on you if you are hard on yourself in a loving manner, in a responsible manner, in a kind, compassionate manner. But if you are hard on yourself, self-loathing in a negative manner, yes, it will have very negative effects on you, because what you think you are, you become. It's all in your mind. This is all in your mind. We are co-creators with this power. Remember, this power is deep down inside of you, page 55. The consciousness of your belief is going to come to you, not to your mom, not to your wife, not to the grandbaby, to you, because you're working this program. So you're a co-creator. What are you co-creating today with God?
Hmm. Yeah, I think that addresses that really well. Thank you, Nikki. And the next question really is kind of a follow up on it, just from a slightly different angle. So maybe this one will have similar answers and maybe not. Let's see. Let's see what the book says. The question is, how do you know when to be kind to yourself? Or what does that even look like, being kind to yourself? What does that look like?
Okay, great question. What does that look like to be kind to yourself? It looks like this. Page 58. Let me write this question out. What does it look like to be kind? Okay, kind to self. Okay, so here it is, because I want to roll through this. Kind to self instead of you repeating everything. So it's page 58. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has been thoroughly honest. That means you have to be radically honest with yourself. So if you're radically honest with yourself, page 58, we start here. What does it look like to be kind to self? Page 58, you got to get radically honest. Okay. And then we turn to page, it looks like, what does it look like to get radically honest? Turn to page 28. See, it proved to be a loving, powerful hand of God. So that's what it looks like to be kind to self, to get into the truth that this is proved, it's a fact, to be a loving and powerful hand of God, because you're in a 12-step program and it comes with a book. So you need to believe your book. So after that, what does it look like to be kind and loving to self? Well, then turn to page 49. This is what it looks like. It looks like, instead of regarding yourself, it says, instead of regarding ourselves as what? Like, as I'm regarding myself as a piece of shit. I'm no good. I'm just an addict. Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm an addict and I'm no good and I've destroyed my life. No, I need to regard myself. What does it look like to be kind to self? It looks like me regarding myself as an intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever advancing creation. What does it look like to be kind to myself, Justin? It looks like page 60. I'm not a saint. What does it look like to be kind to myself? It looks like this, that I'm going to quit playing God, that God is going to be the director. Page 62. What does it look like to be kind to myself? That I'm going to be an agent of this loving and powerful God. That's what the book says. You got to believe your book here, people. Then it says, what does it look like to be kind to self? It looks like I finally have a dad, father. I finally have a father, Justin, because I didn't have one. Remember, I didn't meet my dad till I was 18. I didn't even know what he looked like. I had two stepdads that are both dead from the disease of alcoholism. So I finally have a father. That's what it looks like. And he loves me. And I'm his child. That's what it looks like. It looks like page 63, that I'm going to believe that I have a new employer and that it's all powerful. And if I keep close to him and just perform this work well, because it looks like, if I'm kind to myself, I know I'm going to make mistakes, says page 117, that I'm in the school of life. It's part of my education. Oh, and it looks like this, Justin. What does it look like to be kind to self? That I have a fellowship, that Justin B is going to say, how are you today, Nikki? It's Christmas time and you were supposed to be in Luxembourg and you're not. And you're going to be kind to yourself because you're a loving child of God. And I'm grateful to be at the table with you today, Nikki, and that you have purpose today. See, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to keep on my head and my mind a woman I just talked to before I got off, she said, "You know what the best part of my year was, Nikki, when you came over to my home and you laid by my pool and you really enjoyed it this summer because no one comes over and no one enjoys my pool." And she reminded me what it looks like to be in service. So are you around the right people? Are you in the right book? Are you following the directions? That's what it looks like to be kind to self.
Mm. Beautiful walkthrough there, Nikki. I really appreciate it. That lifts me and helps me to strive to be kinder to myself. Lauren has one last question, and I think it comes to this. Well, if I'm being kind to myself, maybe I'm seeking easier and softer ways. If I'm constantly being kind to myself. So the question is, how do we make sure we aren't being tricked into a lie of an easier, softer way when I'm, being kind to myself and following these things? So, Nikki, what does the book say
Yes,
about that?
yes. Okay, well, number one, in the doctor's opinion, Lauren, it says your addict life is your only normal one. It says you can't differentiate the true from the false. So if you roll to page, um, I guess it's page 59, it says without help, it's too much. So see, you need a sponsor. That's how you know. You need a God squad. You need us. We need you, Lauren. That's how you know. Because someone will, as God's people, we stand tall. The same friend that I was just talking to, and she was telling me these nice things. She was drifting into problems, and she goes, Nikki, okay, I'm going to go. I'll call someone. I said, no, I'm your friend. You're going to hear me now. See, you and I like to drift into morbid reflection. You and I like to drift into poor me. We don't get to do that, friend. See, that's how you know. You get people who will tell you and speak the truth over you. You'll get people who will direct you to the truth. Page 87, to see where religious people are right, to see where spiritual people are right. They'll direct you to the truth. They'll say, Nikki, the birds in the trees don't worry. Why do you? Why don't you just sit and enjoy? See, God didn't create you to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. You got a loving, powerful God. Why don't you just sit and enjoy? See, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to live. I need you guys to tell me. So we need each other. Without help, it's too much. We can't differentiate the true from the false. We need each other. So how do you know if you're too hard on yourself, if you're too kind on yourself, if you're we need each other. I think it's, let me read it. It's always want the big book, and most things we say are in here. It is, where is it? Is it here it is, the forward to the first edition. Let's all go here. XIII. We, Lauren, we, Justin B and Nikki M, we, of any anonymous. This one is Alcoholics Anonymous, and all are welcome. We're more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly fake news, hopeless state of mind and body. And we're going to show, not tell, other addicts precisely how we have recovered. And that's the main purpose of this book, of this podcast, of this fellowship of Rico 12. Stay, don't go. God keeps revealing so much more, Justin. I needed this today, Lauren. Thank you. Thank you, Justin B.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. And once again, thank you, Lauren. And if any of you out there listening also have a question that you'd like to have addressed here and see what the book says, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com. That's Nikki with two Ks, noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and we will address that question in a future episode. Remember, everybody, this is, it's simple. It's not easy. We put our shoulder to the wheel. We push. We allow God to lead us along, our power greater than ourselves to lead us along. And somehow, some way, that path opens up. It's not always easy, but man, is it always worth it. And as you work it, you will also realize that you are worth it.